Hello, lovely souls. I'm Monica, and welcome to Energy Medicine with Monica. This is your space for healing, freeing yourself from limiting power, patterns, and beliefs. Each week, we come together to explore what is ready to be shifted using consciousness-based medicine, helping you heal, align, and synthesize what is ready to be released. I am simply your guide. You are your own healer. And without further ado, get yourself nice and cozy and we will jump right in. So, today is October 31st over here in the north on the Western world. We celebrate Halloween. Um, I believe it's also the Day of the Dead in Mexico and other places in the world. I don't know if they do it today or they have a specific day because my little glitch is I'm terrible with dates. I have a problem with space-time continuum. Last week felt like last year to me. So please look that up for yourself. I'm not entirely sure dates. But today we are going to bring in a reverence, a nod, a respectfulness, an acknowledgement. I feel already my belly moving to your ancestors. And it's time immemorable, immemorial. Oh my God, what's that word? I'm terrible. Im Anyway, it goes on forever, right? So you never don't know where your ancestors, you don't know nowhere where it started. And each person in your lifeline, like in your bloodline, was on their very first adventure. They too were just doing this thing for the very first time. And they lived in a very different time, years. There was different consciousnesses, there was different beliefs. There was different modes of being, what was deemed acceptable, and that was what was deemed acceptable within the family, and then culturally, and then nationally, and it went on and on. And yet, somehow, um, we look potentially, you can see for yourself where you look back onto your ancestors. So the closest one is parents, and then grandparents, and then great grandparents. And potentially there is blame. Potentially blame them for the things they didn't do, could have done, should have done. So in today's work, we're dealing with ancestors, and they say that today is the day of Samhain and the veil is very thin. So I'm just going to burn some Palo Santo, and you can do this for yourself. This is going to be a session that brings in gratitude for the people that came before you. And so I've got my little candle. You can create your own altar. You can even just sit in the space of this session and bring forward your ancestors, the people that came before you. Sure, they had their glitches and their isms. Who doesn't? This is coming in through the navel and through the lower digestive system. Also, the liver is coming in here. My stomach is gurgling. There's resentment and rage stuck in that liver gallbladder complex. So, the liver in Chinese medicine organizes and plans. That's what it does. It organizes and plans. It organizes and plans your daily life. It organizes and plans when you are setting out to, let's say, do groceries. It organizes and plans, it puts things in order. But when there's resentment in relation to what we're working specifically today is with ancestors, so with parents, with grandparents, with family members, it gets a little complex because it can get, some blame, victim consciousness, and then resentment can set in. Like, oh, you should have, my parents, my mother, my father, my siblings, my blah, 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 whoever in your family, they did this thing to me. And it scarred me for life. And now, because of that, I'm unable to, I don't know, make my bed, speak clearly, take care of myself, get a job, have a family. Okay, there is a string of eighth chakra influence where that information, whatever was unresolved within your family line, does get passed down. It gets passed down through the epigenetic coding, and then we have to work through it ourselves in our life. And if we don't work through, we pass it on to our progeny. And then our children have to work through it. And if they don't work through it, and so on and so forth. Now, if you can imagine a lifetime, how many years is in a lifetime? And the things that they had, maybe they had were limited in resources. Maybe herbalism was considered taboo or witchcraft, and it was frowned upon to use herbs to heal. Maybe if anyone did energy medicine, that was considered bad, and there's only one way of doing it. So they were very limited. If you even think of medieval times, if you had your eyes a little bit crooked, they would be off with your head kind of thing. It's like, holy smokes, the thinking and the consciousness that they had back then wasn't very conducive to talking about feelings or, doing some deep healing work. It was done in a different way. But to look back and say, as the child, so does the ancestors stand behind your back? But as the child looking back to your ancestors and going, I know better than you should have done this. It's very arrogant. It's the arrogant child from this space from which you're living with the resources that we have now in these days. If I go back to my mother, even if you think about your mom and the life that she lived and your father, the life that he lived, it's very different. I was born in the 70s. It was very different back then. Very, very different. And then I go to my grandmother, and it was even more different. And then if I look at my great grand, it's like, holy smokes. I can't, she had 11 children living in Poland, and life was very different. So to go back and say, to blame your ancestors for your present life is irresponsible and arrogant. And then it breeds resentment, which harms you. It hurts you. They're no longer here. Or maybe they are. And then that impacts your relationship with them as well, with your parents as well. So take responsibility for your resentment. Bring forward. I can feel so much. My head is being clogged here. This prefrontal cortex is filled with excuses instead of being used for higher thinking, for higher consciousness, for higher awareness. It's being plugged up with these daily experiences of what your parents or your grandparents didn't do. And the arrogant child says, I told you so. Look how you've hurt me. Now, I'm not talking about extreme toxic behavior. I'm talking about the everyday person that's just going through their life. I assure you, as I'm a parent myself, you're not setting out to mess up your kids. You want the best for them. You want the best for them just as your parents wanted the best for you. We got to dump it. That's not to say there wasn't pain or hurt or things that, things that haven't been ironed out or misunderstandings. It's very, very complex. But to assume that you knew your parents and your forefathers' intention is arrogant. It assumes that you know better. It assumes that you know. There's no knowing. It's like, well, tell me. Tell me how it was for you. What was your experience? Tell me. Tell me. I want to hear your story. Tell me. So we're dumping that resentment, blame consciousness, victim mentality out of that liver. It's plugged up with so many experiences and also the experiences that came before you from your forefathers. So we're going to do a nice cleaning of the liver. We got to clean out those cells. We got to enliven that mitochondria so it's working really nice and well within the liver. The lymphatic system within the liver needs a big drainage, bringing that into the mass. There we go. We're doing a huge lymphatic draining out of that liver. All of those old stories, that junk, that resentment, almost greed is coming up. Um, Whiny behavior, manipulative behavior, abusive behavior towards your family members and yourself. And then, you know, stuff happens. Stuff just happens. And you don't need to talk about your feelings. The feelings do not need to be resolved. Emotions do not need to be resolved. They need to be acknowledged and felt. And then you take responsibility. You do the healing for yourself. And that ripples out through your family line, both behind and in front. Whew. So, we need to clean up also that prefrontal cortex. Gotta dump those excuses that keep you limited, that you think that there's something out there that's going to free you. The cage is of your mind. Mm, wonderful. Oh, now there's some dumping happening. So we're going to bring in the glymphatic system, which only works at night to get a nice 8 hour sleep, and the glymph is working. You're going to get that glymphatic system to drain out that toxicity, the dirty cellular water. What also, but water, the lymphatic system also deals with emotion. So over emotionality, becoming very involved with your emotions, wanting to explain your emotions, talk about them, express your feelings, that all is surface and actually prevents from the healing from happening. So we're going to do a beautiful lymphatic drainage where all of this over emotionality and involvement is dumped. It's not really important. Okay, we're going to acknowledge it. Your experience is your experience and it's valid. You don't need someone else to validate your experience. You don't even need to validate your experience. It is, this is what it is for you, and it's valid without blame, not going back to the past and blaming. You can recognize, okay, well, my aunt's neuroticism has trickled down the family line, and that's not serving me now. That's not helpful now. So I'm going to release that. But also, let's look at the strengths that you received through your ancestors, that they've got your back. So all of your ancestors are standing behind you, looking forward, and they have your back. Thousands of people needed to come together, fall in love in some way, even if it was an agreement. There was something that happened between two people coming together that gave birth to the next person and the next and the next and the next. And here you are. Here you are. So giving gratitude to all of those people that came, it's just people. There's just people that came before you, doing the best that they could with the hand that they were dealt, coming up with coping mechanisms and their own traumas from childhood, not knowing any better. It's their first time, just like it's your first time. This is my first time on Earth. It was their first time on Earth too. And have so I can you can bring forward your ancestors and give appreciation and respect, to give them a nod, say thank you, I see you. I'm going to release what's ready to let go. That's not serving me now. It's not serving me now. But I am aware, I see. So I'm very stubborn, and I come from a line of stubborn women and stubborn men. Maybe most Slavic people are stubborn, but I'm a very stubborn Polish woman. My daughter sees it, my kids see it, and mom is stubborn. But thank God, because that gives tenacity and that not given upness. And keep going. If it doesn't work out the first time, I don't fall apart. I pick myself up and keep going. And that's due to stubbornness. I came down my family line. I could tell you, my mom's stubborn, my dad's stubborn, my grandmother's stubborn, my grandfather was stubborn. I heard I didn't know, I don't, never met my great grandparents, but from their pictures, holy smokes, they look like they're a no nonsense type of people. And also the gift of artistry. I did fine arts and I love beauty is so important to me. So I'm just giving you these stories so you can bring up for yourself what you received as a gift from your ancestors. My great granduncle, so my grandmother's father was a known artist in Poland before he had to go to First World War. And my mother says, you've got that from your grandmother. I did art for a long time, and I love putting things together. And my mother said, oh, from your great gran. She was a healer. She just had it in her hands. And so I come from a generation of witches. If you can bring forward those gifts and feel the support of your ancestors behind you. Now, if you're not looking forward to your own life, if you're not feeling their support at your back and you're turned and faced your parents, you're not facing your own life. You can do this exercise now. So, for all of you that do not see their life, you don't need to see your life ahead of you, but you're just facing forward. You need to turn around and face your life. And you're just, oh, I'm scared. The, I don't have courage. Yes, you do. Pull up on that courage and turn around. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And then everything behind you, the parents will be behind you, your grandparents. Feel the support of them behind your back. Could feel thousands of people behind me going, go, Monica, idź, zrób, brawo, Monica, brawo, brawo, idź sobie na twoje życie. Hear all of these Polish people behind me. Whew, so there's some emotion coming in here for the people that have passed that I miss. So family members that have passed that I miss dearly. And grief for all the ones that I have not met. And gratitude to all of them. Now there's a relaxation happening through that umbilicus. I could finally feel that lower gut relaxing. There we go, nice release. And we're gonna do some body chemistry to the umbilicus. It goes your umbilicus, even though it's where your belly button is. And then there's still a small amount that goes inside the belly button. It's where you were attached to your mama, you're attached to your family history. So we're going to do a clean up there, a little bit of a body chemistry of epigenetics. We don't want, what was invasive or viruses passed down through the family line that, those latent viruses that turn on inflammation markers or any other kind of cellular damage or wonkiness. We're going to do a nice cellular cleanup through that umbilicus so that your cells are vibrating at the highest potential for you. They're nice and clean. No resentment, no apathy, no victim martyrdom. There we go. No blame, not even yourself. Oh, and we're going to link this to the bowels. We got to get this garbage out. So for anyone who's experiencing constipation or diarrhea or just some kind of uncomfortable feeling in their lower intestines, going to bring in a hydration and get that sludge moving and then also do a rehydration through the colon so that when you do go to the bathroom, there's no friction through that anal canal, that the water is not being completely dumped out, and you're nicely hydrated. All right, that feels just about complete for today. Thank you so much for being here with me, for calling in this energy medicine, the sacred work that you do for yourself. If you gained any value, oh, it's still shifting for yourself. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing to my channel helps me through the algorithms and helps me grow my channel so I can help more people. Have a great Halloween.